And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our third match of the broadcast here. Welcome back to the Esports World Cup EWC 2025 Global Qualifier Day number 1. We have returned here with our third series with Astrea versus Lambo. Yes, we do have a Zerg player in the brackets. We're going to be featuring a little bit of Zerg matchup here. We have a PVZ ready for us here. Astrea versus Lambo coming up next. Oh boy, vetoes are done, and we will soon jump in to determine which is going to be the next player to make it through into a qualifying match. Again, Björn and Ryung have made it through, and we'll see who will join them as we are jumping into our next series. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the American Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss. It is Max Angel Astrea. Oh, well. Oh wait, there we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the German Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PVZ. And this is going to be an interesting one here. Now, in regards to Lambo versus Astrea, if we did get into a longer macro game, if we get into, a 4-base setup here, maxed out armies, I do favor Astrea. That's where I feel like Astrea, that's where he thrives. That's where he is at his strongest. Meanwhile, when it comes to the early to mid game, that is where Lambo is at his strongest. That's where Lambo can go for these more unorthodox or more specialized and built strategies, to go for these earlier timing attacks or more aggressive builds, and try to break Astrea earlier before we can get into his final form. That's why I feel like this matchup is going to really turn out. That's where this matchup I feel like is really going to unfold, is going to be that mid game. Is going to be whether or not Lambo can stop Astrea from building up. And welcome one all to Persephone. Persephone, of course, is one of the, I would say, more aggressive maps in the map pool. We do have our spawning pool here towards the south side. Well, one of our more aggressive maps here, shorter rush distance by ground, more direct rush distance as well. I say that this map is actually quite polarizing. We do see some shorter games, sure, when it comes to all-ins. Otherwise, if we can get up to a 3 and 4 base setup on this map, very quickly the map gets cut in half. The map is just cut in half here, horizontally, I should say. Cut right down the center, and that does kind of lead into these more longer late games here, hour-plus long games. We have seen plenty of them on Persephone. I should say we've seen a lot of mind-out games on Persephone, just because there aren't that many bases to take. So we'll see if we do end up in that scenario as well. Lambo for president. Let's go. As this is going to be a Stargate opener out of Astrea. It does open Stargate. So everything's looking normal as it should. Now, Astrea, he does have some quirky builds up his sleeve. Like, I do think that Astrea is willing to rush into Skytoss. He's willing to rush into a Fleet Beacon, into a second Stargate earlier than normal. He's willing to go into Glaive Adepts at times. Willing to go into Robo-based openers. He can be a little bit more diverse in set early to mid game, but I don't really think that's where his strengths really lie. Again, for the most part, Astrea, he's infamous for these like longer, late macro games, especially in the NA region, referring to players like Astrea, referring to Neeb and Scarlet. The three of them would often have insanely long series and insanely long games during EPT Americas, EPT NA, amongst the three of them. As a result, they would often get, that's why their late game got so good, because they had so much practice with it. Oh, and we are going for a Phoenix opener. Okay. Phoenix opener out of Astrea. Sorry, Oracle into Phoenix, I should say. With Astrea, can hunt down the Overlords, can deny vision, deny scouting. He can also deter Mutaplay, as you'll already have the one Phoenix. And deter. We'll see what Astrea can get done. But now it does take down some of the active tumors. Gets one, gets both active tumors. Not bad. Both tumors go down. Phoenix towards the main. More oracles are on the way, getting to a triple oracle follow-up. and Lambo is going for the earlier Evo Chamber. Now, with the Evo Chamber timing, this does look like +1 melee, but Lambo is going for the earlier Roach Warren, so he's going for a safety Roach Warren just to be secure. Evo Chamber is done, and yep, melee. So this screens +1 melee into Hydras. Meanwhile, double Oracle in towards that natural. Nice lift there on that Queen. 3 drone kills. Nice damage here by Astrea. Very nice. Making use of that Phoenix. Behind this, still not done. Takes out another active tumor. Threads the Overlord, trying to force a transfuse. Trying to. Behind this, Blink is on the way, getting into +1. So standard follow-up here. I believe that's a 4th Oracle. Am I crazy? Yeah, I think Indy Indy noticed as well. Shout to Indy. Actually, I should fix that up on the screen. My apologies. I'm not observing. Observer. Indy. There we go. Yeah, but here we go. Quadruple Oracle going to the main. Takes down the first Spore. Spore goes down, goes to the mineral line, but Queens, they do react in time. Ooh, and we'll lose one of the Oracles in the process here. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from Astrea, taking a lot of damage on those Oracles. And behind this, yep, all in. What do we see here? Roaches are amassing more, Queens are on the way. We have Overlord Speed going for Drop Lords, going for a German Taxi. As we mentioned in the lead up to this series, like this is where Lambo thrives. This is where we expect Lambo to win these games, is in the early game, to go for these all-ins. And again, if Astrea can survive this, can get into longer games, that's where Astrea is at the advantage, but only if he can get there. And he, I don't think, has yet to confirm. Yeah, he's not aware. Astrea is taking up towards Storm. He's getting ready for a 4th expansion. The 4th base is not going to come into play. Lings that hit the 4th, and here comes the main army right down the center. And now Astrea sees, but I don't think he can stop this. I mean, he shaves off some Zerglings. Drop Lord's pushing forward. Now he's aware. Astrea almost getting surrounded. Has to back off. Has to pull away. Again, Astrea just trying to buy some time. Buying some time. The all-in is upon us. We have 3 shield batteries on the way, a cannon on the way as well. These are late reactions out of Astrea, but Storm is almost done. Needs a little bit more time. Storm is almost there. Astrea blinks away. Shield batteries are finishing. Queen's now moving in. Nice piles. Very nice. Takes down some of the shield batteries. Yeah, Oracle's forced to engage. Queens are putting in a lot of work on the Oracles. Oracles have to back up. And the Oracles are going down brutal piles. And Lambo, he's done it. Lambo, he has done it. He has broken through, takes out the Oracles, does force back the main army, piling down some of those cannons, or sorry, some of those gateways even. GG gets called, and Lambo takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Lambo, he does take a lead in the series, and again, this is where we expect Lambo to thrive, is going to be here with these all-ins, with this early game, with these all-ins, with these timings. Again, Astrea took him a little bit too long, took him too long to realize what was happening, took him too long to realize what exactly was going on. He scouted the army in the center, but remember, when he saw the army, he was already expanding, he was already getting a 4th base up and running, he was already teching up as well, working on that next step, less so focusing on what was coming his way, as he didn't realize what was going on. Likewise, also a shame that he lost an Oracle ahead of time, and if he had seen this earlier, then he could have set up stasis traps, preserved the Oracles, obviously gotten shield batteries a little bit earlier as well. Again, it was all just a late reaction from Astrea to the all-in. Was late reaction. GG, well played. With that, Lambo does take a lead, and depending on the upcoming maps here, there is going to be more opportunities for these earlier timings and for these all-ins that Lambo can take advantage of. Let's go. Let us go. We'll see if Astrea can get a better read on what's happening, a better idea of what is going on. And Scout said builds. Up next, Pylon. Ooh, Pylon is going to be game 2. Ley Lines game 3. Now, based on our maps here, Persephone into Pylon into Ley Lines. Ley Lines is going to be the map where Astrea is going to be the most comfortable. That is going to be the most like standard macro map in the map pool. Pylon is also known for all-ins. So, honestly, especially after game 1, coming into game 2, I expect another all-in. I expect another German taxi or a Link Queen Walker across the map. Aggression is favorite here on Pylon, and let's go. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom hand corner here of Pylon, we have the American Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss. Whew, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover and make a series out of this. It is Astrea. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have our German Zerg player. We have our Blue Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo, leading the series 1-0. I'll get your Rambos ready for Lambo. Oh yeah, we'll get there. Jesus. As he does have that lead, is up 1-0. Meanwhile, we do see Nexus first out of Astrea. Let's go. Straight up Nexus first. These are the cheeky economic builds that Astrea is known for. You can see Indy's trying to point it out. He's like desperately. He's like, Cash has noticed. That we noticed. It's all good. With Astrea's being a little more economic, of course. Does get across the map. Going to be a hatch gas pool standard opener out of Lambo. And as we mentioned, like, all-ins are favorite here on Pylon. They hit faster, they hit harder on this map as well. Even more so than on Persephone. Ooh, 2-gate opener. Okay, so Nexus first into 2 gates. Which means Astrea is going to double down a little bit harder here when it comes to Adept Harass. Adept Aggression. Okay, you have our attention. Go. Now, after game 1, I feel like Lambo set a tone for the series, and Astrea should be, again, a little more careful, a little more adamant when it comes to scouting, a little more perceptive. So we're expecting Astrea to be a little more, again, just a little more active in terms of scouting. Now, as a reminder, double gate opener, which means double adept. So we have our first 2 adepts on the way, and we can get a 3rd and 4th adept as well. Lambo is aware. He did see the opener. We have a take-off choice out of Astrea going for the Stargate, also spotted by the Overlord. Lambo sees everything. Saw the 2 gates and saw the Stargate as well. As the adepts are poking in. Lambo getting ready. Adepts, they do come into the shade, or they can one-shot drones. They get 1, they get 2, they get 3. Not bad, 3 drone kills, but they should only get 3. As the adepts are chased down. And they should not escape. I say that with that shade, never mind. Astrea, he will get away. Does shade away, still racing back home. Lambo hoping to catch the adept. And looks like he will be able to. Whew. Clutch pickoff. Adept does not survive. Oh, misplaced pylon. Ay, ay, ay. Unfortunate there for Astrea. Once again opening up Oracle into Phoenix. Hunt down the Overlords. It's very Astrea. And Showtime as well. Showtime also does this. Going for a set of faster Phoenix. Astrea moves out. Standard follow-up here, going for the Twilight Council into Forge. I say standard follow-up. Actually, this is a little bit earlier than normal, so this might actually be +1 and charge instead of blink. There's a chance. There's a chance here. Can go into charge instead. Adepts, they cancel the shade. They head over towards the 3rd. They get 1 drone so far. Just the 1. Lings, they collapse in. Now, I'm still hoping that it's going to be Blink and not Charge. Charge is going to be ideal to be the aggressor, but if you believe that your opponent is going to be going for a more Roach-heavy style, that's where Blink can excel. Plus one is on the way. Shade in, no safety Roach Warren. It's going to be Ling Hydra. Yeah, no Roach Warren this time. Astrea has to make his choice. What's it going to be? We have the gas. We have the minerals. We have the gas. What are we going for? Adepse Shade into the bases. Astrea, he's distracted. His macro is slipping. And it is Blink. So late Blink from Astrea. Hey. And again, the reason why it's so late is because he was focusing on his harass. Just fixated on the harass. With that, going to get shut down. But Lambo's building up towards a longer game. Lair is on the way. Gases are being taken. Again, Lambo should be working towards Hydra Tech. Is that Bailey Nest? There is that nest. So going to Ling Bane Hydra. This can turn into a 3-base all-in. He's getting a 4th base just for Larva, but he might cut workers here and just max out on Ling Bane Hydra instead. We'll keep an eye on the drone count. That is going to be 9 drones on the way, so never mind, he is saturating. He is saturating his 4th. Now taking up into his Hydras. We're getting to a more standard mid-game. And he's just pointing out that there is droning. It's crazy, he's actually making workers. And this is where Astrea is getting a lot more comfortable. A lot more comfortable here. Meanwhile, we have 22 Zerglings on the way. That's a lot of Zerglings. Lambo did run up to 80. He's taking all of his gases. Now, something that is common as well, we should bear this in mind as stasis does go off, is that even though Lambo has a high drone count, he might not tech. He might stay on Lair tech and commit on Ling Bane Hydra. That's what it's looking like, at least for now. So we'll see if extra gases are taken. We'll see if he throws down Infestation Mitt and works towards Lurkers. And works towards a Hive. Now just purely Ling Bane Hydra. Astrea, he will have Storm. We'll have Storm working on the Robo. We have 15 Hydras on the way. Lambo focusing on maxing out. Again, the drone count is solid. Nice Storm. Storm zones away. And yeah, Lambo, here he can make a choice. Lambo, if he wanted to, Infestation Pit. There could be a pit on the way. But no, Lambo, he's focusing, fixated on this lair-based all-in instead. And Astrea is taking to Sky Toss. He's turtling up. Ooh, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for Astrea. Lambo is all in. He's all in here. He's trying to break Astrea. Ooh, brutal Storm. Remember, now Storm has arrived, and there's 0 lurkers. Like, there's no intention to tech up into lurker. Lambo's on a timer. He's on a timer. This is a style that Solar popularized in recent time as well. Like, Solar's been quite fond of this. We saw this out of Rogue and GSL, true. If you were watching GSL a couple of days ago when we were covering it, Rogue did the same build against Classic in the finals. Stasis going off, Bailey's rolling in, Storm's able to shut this down. Bailey's just trying to connect. They do! Not bad for High Templar. They shut down for High Templar and Lambo is gaining ground. Again, those Bailings, they were the MVPs. They shut down High Templar, and that means he's done it. Wow, he has done it. The all-in is successful. Astrea, he did need a little bit more time. He was close, but didn't get there. He did not get there in time. The base has been broken. GG gets called, and Lambo, he will take game number 2. Whew, GG. GG, well played. I'll be honest, I was having second thoughts there. I wasn't really too confident when it came to the all-in, but we saw the flanking Banelings. He was able to get on top of the High Templar. He sniped 4 High Templar. That would have been so many more storms. And if the storms were kept available here, if the storms were available here to Astrea, then he would have been able to buy more time, a hold off, and work towards that Skytoss. You could argue that Astrea was working towards Skytoss too quickly. If you remember watching Classic's matches against Rogue, Classic, he actually delayed his Skytoss transition, and he actually did fixate on Immortal Storm Archon first before taking up into Skytoss. So he didn't rush too quickly into that late game. He was just turtling up on 4 bases and just fixated on that more mid-game army first to be secure, then tech up. So you could argue that Astrea was being a little bit too greedy there, but at the same time, again, just a really good angle of attack there from Lambo. Again, the longer that game went on, the better it would have been there for Astrea, but Lambo, he was able to commit and break through just in time. GG. GG, well played. And with that, Lambo is up 2-0. He's up at 2-0 here, and we'll see if, well, what the plan is coming into ley lines. Now, as I mentioned before, Persephone and Pylon, they do favor all-ins. All-ins are stronger on these 2 maps. The Rush Distance by ground is shorter. The map is smaller as well. So these 2 maps did favor Lambo, and Lambo did go for all-ins, both Game 1 and Game 2. Game 3, Ley Lines. Ley Lines is a larger map. Ley Lines has a more defendable 3rd and 4th base. This is, as I mentioned at the start of the series, this is the map where Astrea is going to be the most comfortable. This is where he needs to start that comeback. Because after Ley Lines, I believe you have Tokamak and then Maganatha. I'm just going to double check here. It's going to be Ley Lines, Incorporeal, and Tokamak. Yeah, so the first 2 maps are the smaller maps. The last 3 maps in this best of 5, these are the larger maps in the map pool. Ley Lines, Incorporeal, and Tokamak. This is where Astrea, the maps at least, are lined up to favor him. Hold on. Have I been gone the entire time? Hold on. Okay, we're back. We're back. Aye. But yeah, this is where Astrea has to bring it back here and now on ley lines. Likewise, I would expect to see Lambo shift gears, right? It's like, again, Persephone, Pylon, all-ins makes plenty of sense. Coming into ley lines here, I would expect to see something a little bit different out of Lambo, to see something a little bit more macro oriented, to maybe tech up a little bit faster instead and have a different approach. But we'll see how Lambo will adjust coming into some of the more standard, some of the more defendable maps instead. So we will see. As our players just need a moment. We're good. Here we go. As we are jumping into game number 3. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the American Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Astrea. And in the top right-hand corner, we have the German Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-0. It is Lambo. Here we go. As we are going to be settling in and calming things down. We do have initial openers here as well. So far, standard openers do have our initial setup here from Astrea and Lambo. This time, Astrea not going Nexus first. Lambo going Hatch Gas Pool. Hatch Gas Pool out of our Zerg. And again, for the most part, our eyes are on Lambo. Again, Lambo he's been the one kind of dictating the basis when it comes to the builds of choice. Game 1, Lambo did go for the initial 3-base all-in. It did go for the initial German taxi across the map. Game 2, instead, did saturate, getting up to 80 drones, that is true, but did go for a lair-based all-in on pure Ling Bane Hydra. Here, coming into ley lines, what do you have for us? Now, on some of these larger maps, this is where I would say muted play is more viable. Like, going into Spire, going to muters is going to be more viable here, as the map is larger, you're a little bit safer, so you can easily or more easily get away with something like muted play. So that's going to be now on the table here for Lambo to go into Aspire. And likewise, we could just see him actually tech up. We could see him not just drone, but take gases and tech up in towards lurkers as well, into a more tech-heavy style. From the side of Astrea, I don't really see him deviating too much. Like, on the one hand, yes, like Astrea's up against the wall, but as I mentioned at the start of the series, I do feel like Astrea's, like, where he thrives, where he's at his strongest, is the late game. He just hasn't gotten there yet. He's been trying, don't get me wrong, he's been trying to get there. Trying to get into that longer game state, but he hasn't quite gotten there yet. As Lambo does take a third. Astrea does confirm. There we are, Kent. Ah. I didn't realize I was gone, Pappy. Didn't realize. We're good, we're back. So far, just getting one drone. Drone has gone down. Second depth has arrived, bearing in mind 2 depths taking one-shot workers. Lambo is keeping up. It's keeping up once again, 3 games in a row. Astrea opening up Oracle into Phoenix. Very fond of his Phoenixes, or Phoenix. To deny vision, to deny scouting, to potentially even go into a main. Go for a mineral line. Ooh, that's going to be a very fast +1 Forge. Forge for +1. Twilight Council as well. If you recall, we did see this last game going for the faster Twilight Council and faster Forge. I assumed that this was going to be +1 and going into charge, but we saw that Astrea was a little bit distracted at the time and didn't quite invest into an upgrade. We'll see if we go into charge this time, because that's the gateway explosion. Oh my god, that's a lot of gates. Yeah, a lot of gateways early on. This is going to be for an earlier timing. So Astrea is being more aggressive. There we go, pointing out no gases in the main base. It should be a charge timing attack here from Astrea. Going for station traps. Gets a queen, gets 2 drones. There we go, charge on the way. Now, I believe Lambo did not see the gateway explosion. He's not fully aware. If Lambo skips roaches, Lambo's going to be in trouble. If you remember, we assumed that we were going to be seeing this from Astrea in the last game on Pylon, but we didn't quite get there. I do think it could have been successful on Pylon. Here on ley lines, show us what you got. But for the first time this series, Astrea is going to be the aggressor. And again, no Roach Warren. If Lambo is going straight at Ling Hydra, he is going to be so exposed. And damage should be done. I say damage, this might even end the game. We'll see if Astrea gets like a safety Baneling Nest. Oh, there it is. Okay. Baneling Nest on the way. So Astrea, he'll have some safety Banelings available. He'll have the potential to defend, depending on when Astrea strikes. He's still waiting for charge. You see Lambo trying to get read what's going on. No tells yet. Looking a little bit suspicious. Basically, Lambo, he was looking for extra warp ins. He was looking to see what was being warped in. He sees nothing so far. So he's not fully aware, but he is massing up Zerglings. Yeah, there we go. Safety Banelings, he knows. Well, he's aware that something is wrong. He's aware that something is wrong. Got a handful of Banelings on the way. It's only 4, though. Here comes Astrea. There we go. We have 8 Banelings in production, but 4 of them are going to be late. Oh, just now waddling in. Decent connections. But that's still just a wall of Zealots. Does take some Banelings to the face. More Banelings finishing up. It's going to be a tough hold, and it looks like, oh, better connections. Queens are going down, but Lambo holds. Yeah, Lambo, he holds. He shuts this down again. The Banelings, they finish up just in time. And with the help of those Banelings, Lambo, he shuts down the timing. And now Astrea is in a rough place. Oh, good. This had to do more damage. Just had to break an expansion, get into a mineral line, kill some drones. It did not do enough. And with that Lambo, he has gained map control. And now he's taking. Here we go. And this makes the most sense. As we mentioned, as we were assuming, alluding to at the start of this game, we spoke about how ley lines, because it's much more defendable, this would most likely be the option here for Lambo. I mean, we played around with the idea of going into Mutaplay, going to Spire, or taking up into Lurkers, and there it is. We have the Hive on the way and Lurker Den as well. Again, this map does kind of lend it towards this style more so than the others. So Lambo is taking. And so is Astrea, but the problem is because the early charge timing didn't do any critical damage here, it tells me that Astrea, the rest of his tech is late. Blink is delayed, Storm as well. Astrea stuck on 3 bases, where's the 4th? Where is the 4th? Yeah, this is a misread from Astrea. I'm waiting for a 4th base. You see what we see instead? Cannons. Cannons, shield batteries. Astrea, he's turtling up on 3 bases, whereas his opponent isn't being aggressive. So unfortunately, just a bit of a misread here from Astrea. That's all that's happening. As a result, Astrea's expansion is going to be heavily delayed. As it's just now on the way, so late 4th base by Astrea. Late expansion, late saturation means that Lambo should be the first to max out. Will be the first to max. Getting ready for his own push. Lunkers are morphing in. In. Pushing between the bases. The Queen's coming in as well. Oh my god. The Queen's also committed. I don't think that Lambo should quite be here, actually. Lurkers are getting caught out. Massive storms. Yeah, and Lambo is caught. Brutal storms here on the Lurkers. There's what, like 2 Lurkers left, down to 1. Yeah, barely any Lurkers remaining. Link Bane doesn't quite connect. Hydras are coming from behind. Oh, not a bad fight here. Actually getting himself with the High Templar once again. Oh no! Takes out all the High Templar. Despite that chaotic fight, despite this maybe going the best way it could have here for Astrea, it's still not enough. Ay, ay, ay. Lambo still overwhelms. Pushing towards the natural. Blings, they slip into the bases. And alas, Astrea, he just cannot push in. He cannot touch this Lurker line. Lambo, he has done it and breaks on through. Depowers the Robo, denies the Immortal. And again, this is all of the... Oh god, brutal blink. Brutal blink there from Astrea. He gets punished for it. This is all off the back of the failed charge timing. The failed early charge. Oh my god. Spines, they punish the High Templar once again. And Lambo, he has done it. He has broken through. Again, he never allowed Astrea to get into that late game. GG gets called, and Lambo, he will take the series 3-0, advancing on to a qualifying match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Oh, does I claim the series does take the 3-0. Again, as you mentioned in the lead up to this, Lambo, where he thrives, where he's going to be at his strongest here, would be ZvP. This is where he has the most versatile build, versatile play, and with that, he does advance on to the next round. A strong performance here from Lambo, and Astrea struggling to keep up with Lambo, specifically with the builds of Lambo. If you recall, in game number 1, he missed the all-in. He missed the German taxi, didn't realize what was happening until it was too late. Remember, Astrea, he was expanding, he was getting a 4th base, he was taking up as well, he was caught with his pants down. Game number 2, similar story, where we saw that Astrea, he was taking up too quickly into Skytoss while his opponent was going to be crashing into the 4th, and Astrea was broken ahead of time. Here in game 3, different story, we had Astrea being the aggressor instead, but he got shut down. Like, he went for the early charge timing, but even though Lambo didn't see the all-in, he did see the lack of units, which was a tell. Was a tell that something was wrong, something was amiss, and he was able to get the banelings ready in time. GG. GG well played. With that, Lambo does claim the series, and with that, we have one round 1 match remaining here. Up next, Gumiho versus Goblin. Gonna be up next here after the break. So take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage marines. Oh my god. Massage marines, and we'll be back soon here with our next match. Now, as a reminder, there's still 2 more matches after this. So we have Gumiho versus Goblin, and then we have the qualifying matches. We'll see you soon after the break.